All right, man, we back. Marcy Sports Talk. We in the building. Let me get adjusted for a minute. Let's talk some Detroit Pistons basketball. Apparently, there's a rumor out there that the Detroit Pistons could trade up to the number 2 pick with the Golden State Warriors. I'll put that article link in the description. We got a few rumors in there, so check it out. Be under article link. But hey, let's get into it, man. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk one-on-one playlist for more videos like this. And basically, the deal is that the Warriors give us the number 2 pick. We give them the 7th pick and Blake Griffin for Andrew Wiggins. Now, that may work, right? They are looking for a player that can go with the age group of Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry. They're openly looking to move out of number 2, okay? And if Blake Griffin need check out, they can run with it. So they lineup could look like Blake at the 4. I don't know what they're going to do at the 5, to be honest. Draymond at the 3, Klay and Steph at 1 or 2. And at 7, they still could walk away potentially with James Wiseman possibly, or with a guy, that's still young, or they can move back and gain more assets at number 7. All right, there's some talk that Boston could want to move up to number 7. Maybe they look at bringing in Tice or one of those dudes that Boston may not can afford down the line. I know Marcus Smart, I'm not sure if they signed him to a contract as well, but maybe they could look at those possibilities. Me personally, would I do the deal? I mean, yeah. It's kind of it kind of limits. It kind of make Luke Kennard expendable, or you could bring him off the bench. But remember, he got to get paid too, because Wiggins will come in and play the 2. Diambo will play the 3, and then LaMelo obviously would be your 1 of the future. I don't know if he could beat out Derrick Rose, but basically Derrick Rose is a part-time player to begin with anyway. All right, so it could work, but at number 2. If the Minnesota Timberwolves, they go with LaMelo, and then it's a situation where the Pistons say, okay, what do we do after that? Do we take Edwards, or, what do we take after the number 1 pick? After the number 1 pick, do we go with Edwards? Do we go to Wiseman, or do we trade back down? It's a difficult situation there. You know what I'm saying? Or do they feel comfortable at 7 with a Hampton, with a Sadiq, with a Haliburton, with Killian Hayes, or whatever the situation may be? It all boils down to what, Troy Weaver want to do. Because you taking on Andrew Wiggins, that means he got a max deal for the next 3 years, 4 years. Now, we had to talk about bringing Al Horford in. Horford is a different story than Andrew Wiggins. Horford is, 33, 31 years old, and when his contract is up at 27 a pop, he will be, 37 years old, whatever, 37, 38 years old. Even though he's from Grand Blanc, Michigan, and all that good shit, excuse my language, I'd rather take a chance on Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? And, bringing Wiggins here would pretty much make Luke Kennard expendable. Now, could you package Luke Kennard with somebody else and move down, or, get in at the end of the draft and get somebody else you like? Sure you could. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure you could. And that's a great question, because, or it's a great situation, because you can package Luke Kennard, you can bring in a veteran, or you can trade back in the end of the draft. If one of those dudes slides, a lot of dudes that's expected to slide in this draft. You know what I'm saying? It's guys like RJ Hampton I've seen going into the 20s, Cole Anthony going again in the 20s. You got the kid from Alabama, Kira. Everybody talking about the point guard. So, Tyrese Maxey could slip. So, you still can really end up with a young guard that can give you what Luke Kennard can give you. Probably give you more because he can stay healthy. So the possibilities are endless. I know Weaver said he happy staying at 7. But, hey, if opportunity come where we can bring in Wiggins, which I thought ideally they would want to keep Wiggins and they would trade Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Because, Draymond, Blake can play that stretch 3, and he can play that 3 position and that stretch 4 position that Draymond played. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't the facilitator that Draymond is at all either. So I guess they'd be willing to give up Wiggins, is the word on the street. And to be honest, I do it. I do it because I do it only if I believe LaMelo is that guy. That's it. It's a few reasons I do it. I do it because I think LaMelo that guy. Or whoever I trade up and get that guy. That's it. That's the only reason I do it. I don't do it Only because I don't want to take on Wiggins' contract, and I probably can amnesty Blake Griffin. And I don't do it also because I like somebody at 7. Those are my possibilities right there. I do it because I really think who I'm moving up for, LaMelo Ball probably is special when we really want him in Detroit. I don't do it because I like somebody at 7. I don't want to take on that Wiggins contract. Now, would it make any difference to me if it was Wiggins or Draymond? It makes a difference. At least I know Draymond is elite on the defensive end. At least I know Draymond can distribute the ball. And I know Draymond brings something to the intangible to the team. He brings heart. He brings soul. He brings a championship pedigree. You know, show guys how to win and work. Andrew Wiggins don't bring nothing. Andrew Wiggins absolutely brings nothing but potential. Potential that he hadn't tapped into. You know, very inconsistent. All he do is score. He don't facilitate. He don't rebound. Got potential to be a really great elite defender. But it just seemed like a lot of those guys from Canada, not named Jamal Murray, they just don't have that edge. They just don't have that killer in them. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the difference. You know, Jamal Murray giving Canadians a good name because mostly Canadians come in this league and most of them look at as they soft. Bennett, Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? You can go on and on. You know, most of these dudes don't have a reputation for being edgy or being a killer out there on the court. And Wiggins is just like Steven Jackson said, he the 10 man. He don't have no heart. And Detroit ain't never been good when we had players that didn't have no heart. We always been good and great when we had players that played with a lot of heart. Or we surrounded those guys. Ben Wallace, Isaiah Thomas, 2 of the biggest hearts you're going to find in the National Basketball Association history. Andrew Wiggins don't represent shit that we represent, you know, when we want to be good. A blue-collar, hardcore, bite-down defensive team. He got the potential to be defensive, but he ain't got no killer in him. You know, but if it come bring a LaMelo Ball, what he got, about 3 years left on that contract? You know, what he signed, a 4-year max deal? It's around $27 million. It's around the same thing Al Horford got. If you put him my leg, man, like I said, man, my guys, and I haven't looked at all of the to give a definitive answer. I haven't looked at all the prospects in the draft, honestly. And I'm gonna keep it 100. I haven't. But the one I really like is Wiseman, and I like Hellberg. I like those guys the most so far. You know, but if I can get LaMelo Ball, and it's an additional year or 2 because of Andrew Wiggins, I guess it'll work. But you hate to take on a bad contract for a worse contract. You know, but then again, Blake Griffin, the only reason this works is because Blake Griffin got 1 less year or 2 less years than Andrew Wiggins. So if it was to me, I guess I'll do it. But if Golden State gonna play the field first, the bad thing for Golden State about trying to swap that 2 out for something else is that nobody really wants the 2. Right? Like, it's no elite player in this draft. So that helps the Pistons out. The Pistons might be the most likely buyer, but then the Pistons have to be willing to take on Wiggins. Maybe, you know, Troy Weaver said, well, we only do it for Draymond Green. Do the Golden State Warriors really have a choice? And that's going to be determined to anybody else. Maybe Atlanta jump in there and say, well, we got John Collins III, and we send you the 6th for the 2nd pick because we like somebody up there. I don't know who it would be. You know, do the Knicks got really somebody to offer them? That's kind of like Blake Griffin, no. Charlotte, I mean, really no. So you look at the teams that's under them. Chicago would probably be the team that's most threatening, but then again, because of the assets they got. But then again, they got the point guard of the future already in Kobe White, so there's really nobody in front of the Pistons that's a threat to move up. Now, you're looking at a veteran team. Now, maybe Boston say, hey, man, we throw y'all Marcus Smart or, you know, whoever else they got, Gordon Hayward, you give us Andrew Wiggins, and we'll throw you the 14th pick. Or we'll give you the 26th and the 30th pick. You know? Boston probably be our biggest threat for that number 2 overall pick. And I think if Boston trade up for that number 3 overall pick, I think I know who it's going to be. It's going to be Wiseman. They struggling in the middle. Boston is the team. Boston is the team that's the most threatening to the Pistons for that number 2 pick with the Warriors. 3 picks in the first round. They got Gordon Hayward. You know what I'm saying? I think he got 1 more year left on his contract as well. You know, so they can go out there and put Hayward, and they can swap Wiggins out too. I don't know if they would take Wiggins' contract there as well too, or they would look to flip Wiggins. That's a whole different situation. But if they was to take Wiggins to get that number 2 overall pick, which Boston, they print money up there because they got a loyal fan base. And they really good. If they was to take on Wiggins right now for Hayward and get that number 2 overall pick, it's gonna be Wiseman. And Boston is gonna probably be the leader in the pack in the Eastern Conference next year. They land Wiseman, you know what I'm saying? And they can find a place for Wiggins to play. That ain't no problem. Finding a place for Wiggins is no serious problem for Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Boston is probably the most dangerous team or the biggest threat to the Pistons as far as that number 2 overall pick. That'd be huge. That would be humongous. That would be humongous for Boston. You know what I'm saying? Because they biggest problem is in the middle. And Toronto can't exploit it because Ibaka is he just don't know how to be a big man. He never learned how to post up. He want to just shoot threes. Ibaka woke up one day and thought he was Kyle Korver with melanated skin. But if they do that and they pull that deal off, Boston gonna be dominant in the East for a long time. Brown starting to take that jump. Tatum starting to take that jump. Kemba already there if he healthy. Boston probably gonna dominate the East kind of like LeBron did for many years, man. And you know, that's dangerous. That's real dangerous, man. So, like I said before, if I'm the Pistons, if I rate all the point guard prospects, or if I say, you know what, I really like Killian the best, or I really like Haliburton the best, or I really don't think it's a drop off from Cole Beasley, maybe I stay at 7 and ride it out with Blake, man. But if I think LaMelo or somebody else up there is that guy beyond everybody else, then I do the deal. But I think Boston will be the biggest threat. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you got business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation? Cash App, CJ Good 313. Shout out to V Harris from earlier. I think it came from this channel on the Cash App. Appreciate that love. Best way to donate. Share the video. Comment. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the holiday. And don't forget to check my other channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV. We go.